3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, I'm Maria.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Maria DeVivo, and I am a dark fantasy and horror author with Four Horsemen Publications. I am here with
Jackie Sonnenberg. I'm also a dark fantasy horror author with Four Horsemen Publications. Go figure.
Ooh, go.
Look.
Wow.
Hey, wait a minute. How'd that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but hey, we're both here and we're ready to hang out and answer some questions and tell you guys a little bit about ourselves and our writings and what inspires us and what prompts our writings.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So, Jackie, tell everybody a little bit about your work.
Well, so I am someone that has a different background. So I have a background in the horror industry. I'm in the haunted house industry. And so I create characters there and create costumes there. So that is what prompted me to make my own costumes of my own book characters. And so that is what I do. And that is how I market myself. I dress as my book characters and I go to conventions and shows in character. So that's kind of what started that whole thing. And it was very easy to get into characters, especially when they're your own and you know them very well.
What about your books? Tell us about your books. What you got?
Well, I have a brand new series coming out this fall, actually, with Four Horsemen. It is very Halloween based. It is based on Halloween traditions and the origin of Halloween traditions. So I did some research on Celtic and Samhain traditions. And then, of course, I put in some of my own. So it's based on real ones, but it's also made up. It's also some things that I just invented for myself and things that would fit with the story. But they're very heavily influenced by these early traditions.
I love that. That's going to be a series, right?
Yeah, it's a series. It's coming out this fall. And there's a lot of Halloween-y, witchy things in there that I think you would appreciate, Maria, because aren't you someone that likes to dabble in witchcraft a little bit?
Just a
bit?
Just a tiny bit. Yeah, I kind of live in the whole like dark fantasy horror medium. I have 4 series right now and 3 trilogies and 1 ongoing saga that's up to book 6 right now. I actually started writing book 8 yesterday, which is kind of crazy. But I write about elves at the North Pole. That's kind of like my young adult series, The Coal Elf. And then I've got Zombies with a Twist. That's my altered series. And then I've got my Angels and Demons, Strangel. And my Dawn of the Blood Witch series, which is about my sexy, smutty, gory witches. So yeah,
wow. That's quite the collection you got there.
It's pretty cool. I dig it.
Love it.
So we have some questions we're supposed to answer.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's take a look at these questions.
I mean, here we go. You want to take the first one?
All right. Yeah. So I think this is going to be an easy one for us.
Absolutely.
So what is a reoccurring decoration in or around your house? Example, gnomes, pigs, chickens, skulls, etc. Well, Maria, I don't know about the first couple options, but I think you and I both have the last option as decor, do we not?
Absolutely.
I think we do. I think we might.
I think so. I think it's a possibility because when you're witchy by nature, I think like my house, my decorations. Oh, he's so cute, Jackie. Oh my God, I love him. Does he have a name?
Herman. Her and man, because it's pretty gender neutral skeleton, though I think due to the size of the pelvis, it's male, but I just thought I'd be clever.
Love it.
There you go. Yes, there's your skull.
Skulls. I mean, anything that's like kind of Halloween-y.
Yeah.
Year round, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's our world. We dabble in Halloween and Gothic in general, but Gothic is just all the time. But I think we're the type of people that will go shopping for Halloween decorations, put them up for Halloween, and just keep them up year round and never take them down.
Well, I'll tell you, to that point, I have a black Christmas tree.
Me too.
You do?
Yes.
Sister.
I do. I have a black Christmas tree. It's actually my Halloween tree that I first pull up for Halloween, and I have all these Halloween ornaments, and then I have the green and purple and the yellow lights. I have these little pumpkin. I have these candy corn lights, spider lights, and it's all Nightmare Before Christmas themed.
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
later, that transitions to Christmas, which Nightmare Before Christmas really it fits. So it's like I don't really have to do anything. So I put this tree up in September and I take it down January 20th.
Mine stays up all year. It's up all year because I'm lazy. All right, truth be told.
Fine.
But like I decorate Halloween. Obviously, we go all out, and then after Halloween, Christmas will go up like right in the middle of November, and then Christmas comes down mid-Jan, and then I do like a whole like Valentine's Day, but like Halloween,
Halloween.
Yeah. And then we do like the Easter, and then like summer is like patriotic. Like I'm insane a little bit. I have like massive OCD. But yeah, the black tree stays up and it gets decorated, and I decorate for Halloween September 1st.
Yeah, me too. Like I have extra Halloween stuff that I will save specifically for our treasured holiday to put up at the time, like the lights and all the pumpkins and everything. Those gotta go out when they go out. And I actually have these little ghosts that I put up and I hang them from like light fixtures. They look really cute, and I actually justified leaving them up for Christmas because I called them the ghosts of Christmas past.
Oh, hello, of course.
But yeah, I mean, it fits. I just didn't feel like getting the ladder and getting them down. I'm just like, no, they're gonna stay up there. It's fine. It's fine. They're it's fine. They're Marley approved. They're Jacob Marley approved. Okay.
I love that. That's like one of my favorite books, by the way. But yeah,
absolutely,
for sure.
It's a horror Christmas novel because originally horror stories, ghost stories were told around Christmas.
Yes,
that's where that line "There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glory of Christmases long, long ago" comes from.
Yep, the perfect melding.
It is the absolute perfect melding. So where do you get your Halloween Gothic decorations?
Anywhere I can. I mean, do you know Spirit Halloween just came out with a new store for like Christmas, and it's all Christmas stuff, but it's not, you can't get anything online. They don't have an online store yet, which sucks.
But like, where do you find it? I thought it was only in certain states.
Certain states, yeah, but they're going to be bringing it, I think, hopefully to Florida. Us. Hopefully.
They better.
Hopefully.
They better. Yeah. I mean, we don't have Joann's anymore. Joann's would put Halloween stuff out in June. This would be Halloween shopping time right about now.
I think Michael's is going to start putting out their stuff.
I mean, they better.
They should be. Yeah.
They really should be. You want to see one of the coolest things I got from Joann's? Okay, so they have these, like, I have like 3 of these on my desk, but I'll happily show everyone. They have these like storage units that look like books, but you put your stuff in it.
Yep.
I love these so much. I have 3 of them. I'd show you the others, but they're kind of big and they're full of stuff.
I have the spell book one. It looks like a big ass spell book.
Me too.
Show me. If we have the same one, I am gonna squeal.
I don't know. Is it Halloween? Hold on. I have one that says something wicked this way comes.
Oh.
It's a really big one. Great. This one?
No, but I love that.
Notebooks. And look at the inside. It's all like stripy and gothic and cool. I know.
So cool. Right. We going to question number 2? Let me ask you. Ready?
Okay.
This one's kind of like, but I thought about it. And there's I do have a little bit of a story. But we're going to go with you first, my dear.
Okay.
Has a piece of writing ever haunted you?
Honestly, no. I can't. I don't really have anything for that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Like haunted, like I was like it scared me or it gave me nightmares or anything.
Yeah, that's like kind of how I was interpreting haunted, or like maybe a book that that stayed with you and like kind of was like low key, like in the back of your mind type of thing.
I mean, I don't really know. I can't really think of anything that stands out too much there. Okay. But I know you have a story, so let's hear it. Maybe it'll prompt me to think of something. Go ahead.
So I was thinking about this, right? And
okay.
So I was thinking about this. And when I was in high school, and I was like really heavily into I was in my bad witch era. You know, I think we all kind of have our bad witch eras, right?
Yes, queen.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, the book The Necronomicon, not the Evil Dead fake one. There was a book called The Necronomicon, and it is supposed to be a magical grimoire that's like, you know, super intense and whatever. I mean, is it a hoax? It is what it is. But I remember I got my hands on that when I was in high school, and it was interesting to say the least. And when I moved from New York to Florida, like years later, I remember like, okay, that's one that I'm getting rid of. Like we got to get rid of that. We got to get out of our bad witch era, because I made a declaration that I wasn't going to be a bad witch anymore. So I still think about that book. And when I was thinking about like the word haunted and the connections to it, I'm like, okay, maybe that one, the Necronomicon, kind of stayed with me a little bit, you know.
Okay, that's cool. Little teenage Maria.
No, not it's actually not cool. But yeah, it's cool. Because I was a bad witch, you know. I did bad stuff. I mean, you know.
Oh, girl. It's okay. You put it in your writing now.
That's where it comes out now. I'm a good witch now.
Good. Sometimes.
Has your own writing ever haunted you? Something that you wrote that you were like, holy crap, that came out of me.
I mean, I don't think so, but I mean, I think when we write paranormal stories, for instance, I think anytime we write a ghost story, we kind of like think back to it and we're like, well, where did I get this from exactly? And then you start like thinking about it, or you find yourself in you know, a place where your character was, you know, like walking around a house alone at night and hearing something, or like
Right.
it feels cold when it's not supposed to be cold. So if you get a chill out of nowhere, you're wondering where this came from, and you're like, well, wait, hang on a minute, am I diving into my own subconscious here? Is this something I dreamed about? Did I have any type of paranormal experience when I was like dreaming or sleeping or something?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, a lot of people base their paranormal stories off of real paranormal encounters. So for My Soul to Keep actually is my paranormal book, and that is actually with 4 horsemen now. It got a beautiful little facelift, and she's a good girl now. She looks great, and so that's my paranormal book, and I base that off of real paranormal stories that people told me. And one of them, there's a scene in the book where the characters have out of body experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And so I interviewed people who had these, and they were telling me about how, you know, they went to sleep at night and they went somewhere in a dream. And then they, you know, came back and they woke up only to find out that the next day people saw them. People saw them, that they saw their spirit. They saw that they were not dreaming. And so I wrote a scene based off of that. It was probably one of the coolest things I've ever heard, because this actually happened to someone and I got to use it.
I love that.
I know it was really, really cool.
Yeah. Well, similarly, in my witch books, I definitely take stuff that I've experienced myself, or even stories from like other people, and I've kind of like put that in there as like the real element. My mom, back in the day, she used to babysit these kids, and she would tell me the stories about going to like the family's house, and they lived in this like little apartment, and the mom was like real weird and witchy, and the 2 kids like were weird and witchy looking, you know. And she said, my mom would say that she always got like this weird feeling from being in their apartment, and the little girl would like, my mom was pregnant with me at the time, and the little girl would like touch my mom's stomach and like rub up on my mom's stomach and like ask her questions about the baby, right, which was me. And my mom would always say like, oh yeah, well, that little witch kind of cursed you. And that kind of triggered something in me. And that's kind of like how I wrote Witch of the Black Circle. The first line of that is, my mother always says I was cursed by a witch. And that's like actually real life. So.
Okay, that is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. also like I'm thinking like, whenever I do something that is based off of anything real, I feel like I need to put like a forward or acknowledgments in the book to tell people this was real. And I think I did that with my Soul to Keep, both for the encounters that people had and when I interviewed them, and also that it's based on a real cult that I put in there.
Right,
And so
right.
this was a moment in history. It's based on the cult Heaven's Gate from the 90s.
Oh, crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I watched the documentary on that, and my God, was that fantastic material.
Yes. I will watch any documentary about that. Like it fascinates me, the mentality of that whole like stuff, all of that.
Right.
It's crazy. And I love it.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't put disclaimers in mine. Now you got me thinking, do I need to? Nah, let people figure it out for themselves.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a disclaimer, more like an acknowledgement.
Okay.
I think I did acknowledgments for sure.
Like, I think if you're picking people's brains and being like, hey, tell me a story, and then you're going to go write about it. Yeah, I think an acknowledgement is definitely appropriate. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like with my mom, when she told me that story, and then I actually put that story in the book, I was like, whatever, Ma. Why would I acknowledge you? It's all good.
Yeah, it is all good.
I have mommy issues. Oh my God, I have major mommy issues.
Well, I mean, you have a daughter who's a writer too.
Yeah.
Does she take after you, or does she have her own style?
She's got her own style. She's definitely into fantasy. She writes fantasy, and she's also a horseman, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But she also writes science fiction, and that's like not my jam. But I will say this, like, she's 1,000 times better than me as a writer, and she's only 16. So yeah.
Well,
I think she has mommy issues, so the cycle is continuing. But she's my best friend. No, 100%. She's my best friend. And Morgan, if you're watching, I love you.
Hi, Morgan.
Hi, Morgan.
But yeah, your own writing haunting you.
Me? My own writing haunting me?
Yeah. I mean, did you ever scare yourself?
No.
Me neither. Even now, as I'm researching all this Halloween stuff, it's just it's beautiful, and it's fascinating. It really is, especially when you dive back into ancient traditions and see just how many of them shaped current traditions and how many things we still follow today. And it's like when you put little tidbits in there that people are familiar with, they're going to enjoy it a whole lot more. But it's also going to make them think. Yeah, because they're going to be like, what is this? This was or is real, or let me look this up. Let me learn more about it.
I think, though, not scaring myself with the text, like the context of what I'm writing, but I think the process of writing is actually kind of freaking scary.
Yeah, it is. Especially when you're writing a series. It's like I have spreadsheets keeping track of everybody and what's happening to them and what's going to happen to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I don't know if this happens to you, but this happens to me, and it's going to sound insane. But I think writers probably will understand this. Like, you get into a trance when you're writing. And when it's flowing and it's going, and it's like you just and it's happening right in that moment. And then when you go back and you read what you wrote, and you're like, I wrote that. That came out of me. Like, where did I come up with that? It's like, it's almost like an outer body experience. It's almost like you become someone else.
True.
Unaware. Does that happen to you, or is it just crazy?
Well, in a way, yes. And also the fact when you are writing different characters that are going to have different reactions to things, and they're going to, carry themselves differently. They're going to speak differently. They're going to act differently. They're going to treat other people differently. And it's like, you need to remove yourself from that and say, that's not what I would say. It's not what I would do. This is what so-and-so would say and do. And you have to do that for however many people that you have in your books and what their relationships are to one another.
Absolutely. It's like,
I love it.
And they dictate the story. They tell you what they're doing.
Exactly. Books write themselves. And I tell people this all the time. Yeah. They just do. Sometimes you're in the flow of something and you're in a scene, and the scene just happens, and you sit back and you go, what the hell just happened? That wasn't me. That was them. Okay. They did that. They decided all of that.
So that in and of itself is haunting.
Yeah,
You know, when you
it
think
is.
about
Your
it, it's like,
characters are real, and they're real to you, and you make them real. You make them as real as you can.
yeah,
They
they're
they
my
have
baby.
they all have flaws, and they all make mistakes, big ones, little ones. They
Mhm.
eventually grow out of it sometimes.
And then they die. I
They have
mean,
bad habits, and
yeah.
then they die.
And then they
Okay,
do.
are you someone that likes to kill off your characters, Maria?
Um, it's funny that you mention that because I'm kind of toying with an idea and I'm feeling something in my heart that I think needs to happen and I don't want it to happen. There are some characters I'm like, you're dead. I don't care. Like, whatever. Like, screw you. Goodbye.
Get eaten.
But then, and some of them are like the necessary sacrifice that the book demands.
Mhm.
Um, but then there are those ones that are like, oh, this is gonna happen? Really?
Mhm.
Yeah. What about you? How do you feel about killing your babies?
Well, I mean, if they're not important characters, like fine. And if there's just
Right.
a demon monster running around and it's eating stuff, it's got to eat stuff. But I will say that I did change an ending of a book once. I originally had some secondary characters die,
Okay.
and then this it stayed the way it was for a while before, and then I just woke up one day and I said, I can't do it to them. I was like, I can't do this to them. I literally went back in, very last page, changed a couple sentences in the paragraph, and then they were saved. And I felt so much better.
You did? You felt better?
I did.
How did
They
it
didn't
work
deserve it.
though?
They didn't,
But
they
how
didn't
did it
deserve
work
it.
in the context of the story?
Better.
It did. Okay. All right.
It wasn't the main characters though. But it was
Oh,
people that they didn't deserve it. They were there the whole time. They were oblivious to everything. They just wrong place, wrong time thing. And I went, what did I just do? That I can't do that to them.
you're such a good person.
I listen. They
Oh,
they were
Jackie.
monsters, but they were good people.
Mm. See me, I just want to kill everybody.
It,
I
it
just want I just
depends.
want to burn the world. I mean, and when you're a writer, you can.
Yeah, you
That's your
can.
power. You can. That's your power. So
It-
I exploit that power greatly.
hey, listen. I like writing a good gory death scene or something horrible in there with
Oh,
like
yeah.
monsters because I'm really big into monsters right now. Of
Yes.
course, with
Yes.
macabre. It's
Yes.
all about demons and ghosts and monsters and cryptids and creatures. So of course, there's going to be the occasional bloodshed here and there, but it's like I'm not going to be one of those authors that just turns everything into a bloodbath because then you're left with disappointed readers. They ultimately don't want to see that happen. They want the good guys to win, depending on whose side you're on, of course. In a
I
way,
think I think good and bad is subjective.
it is. I like characters that are like a little bit morally gray. Like you
Yeah.
don't know whose side that they're on. They're very much the Captain Jack Sparrow
Right.
neutral, chaotic
Right.
neutral.
That's my favorite. That's kind of where I live, especially with my witches. It's like, that the saying, it's so cliche, but everybody is the hero of their own story.
Mhm.
So when you've got this cast of villainous characters that are doing really heinous things, but yet you understand why they're doing it, and like
Mhm.
it just muddles the black and white area. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
sometimes monsters are just good
And they
things.
just want to be
They're
loved.
innocent people. Hey, look, they gotta eat. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Exactly. All right. So
Speaking of
speaking of
these,
eating,
speaking of eating, Maria, what is a food that you cannot let run out in your household, no matter what?
okay, so it's not necessarily a food because like whatever food, whatever, coffee.
Yes,
If I don't have my coffee, I am an
100%. Is that like a
evil.
writer cliche? It has to be because it's the beans that keep us moving.
Maybe,
I think
maybe,
it
but
might
I need first thing. Like when I wake up, I'm like, okay,
be.
let's do coffee.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yes, I need it and I want it always. I drink
Always.
tea too occasionally. Depends on my mood. If I need to wake up and be a little bit more chill, tea is the way to go, especially if
Really?
it's like yeah, nice herbal refreshment, especially if it's like a rainy day outside and you're like, "Ooh, I need something that's going to complement this well." I think I'm going to do a little Earl Grey.
Oh,
and smooth. Yeah.
that's so
Change it up.
Victorian goth of you.
You what?
I said, that's so Victorian goth of you. Sitting
Yes.
out drinking your tea, right? With your black dress on.
It has to be. I mean, it runs through our veins.
Has to.
Yeah, I agree with the coffee thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like, or else I get out of my mind if I'm not caffeinated. But you know what? I have to be honest. Okay. So I'm one of those, I like a little coffee with my creamer. I need the sweetness. I need the crazy flavors. I need caramel. I need just sweet sugar and the caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It really does. You're there for the taste. You have an appreciation for good taste.
But if I'm drinking black, I'm not going to drink black coffee because that's
horrible. I don't understand that concept at all.
No, those people should not be trusted.
No, they're probably serial killers.
They might be.
They might be. If you read a book with a serial killer that drinks black coffee, I will forever remember as being the one that inspired that, Maria. So thank you.
So is that it? Yeah. Oh my God. Did you see that? That popped up.
No.
We had a little pop-up.
We had someone in the chat tell us that they drink black coffee. What should we do? What should we do with them?
I don't know. I might need to just do some witchy stuff tonight.
I don't know. I think I don't know. That's kind of scary.
I'm very scared now. It's okay though. I'll get over it. It's fine. She can do what she's got to do.
It's okay. We love you. Don't hide. Now, what about food? What foods do you just need to have?
Nah, I'm not like cereal.
Yeah. Cereal is like the perfect anytime meal. I will argue that you can have cereal for dinner. It's totally normal.
All the time.
Absolutely. Hello? I will come home and just, you know what? I think I'm digging the Cocoa Krispies tonight. And it's a good thing to eat when you're at your computer writing because it's easy. It's no mess, no fuss. Just eat it and then you're done.
I will say this. Red Solo cup, cereal, milk, and then you throw it away. You don't even have to clean up the dish. You don't even just put it in the Solo cup and then you can drink the milk and you're good, especially like Cocoa Pebbles. That is the chocolatiest milk. Oh, yes, it is. So good. But yeah, I definitely need cereal in the house. Some kind of cereal. It depends, whatever. But other than that, like food.
The anytime dinner, the anytime meal.
The anytime meal is cereal.
Yeah. Or grilled cheese.
Oh, I do love me a good grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese is another wake up, have a grilled cheese. Lunch grilled cheese, dinner grilled cheese, midnight grilled cheese. You're solid.
Girl.
Like, when you go to like somewhere, one of those restaurants late at night, like Denny's. Maybe I shouldn't say go to Denny's. Maybe I should say you end up at Denny's because that's what happens. Yeah. And you're like, oh, what do I want at midnight? Give me a grilled cheese. Easy. No fuss.
It's
comfort food.
Perfect. It's actually perfect.
It is. Also pasta because I'm a big time carb junkie. I got to have my pasta.
Italian.
Yeah, Italian too. It's the Italian ladies thing.
It is what it is. Well, Jackie, my dear, rock on.
Well, Maria, looks like we are ready to close out very soon. We want to say thank you so much for anyone that joined us tonight and listened to us talk about witches and ghosts and cults and being haunted by our own writing and
cereal,
coffee and eating cereal. Yeah, hang out with us. We're actually pretty cool in real life. I promise.
Thank you guys for coming. Jackie, when am I going to see you? Where are you going to be next?
I'm going to be at the Oddities Market. That's going to be in Kissimmee at the end of June. I'll be at Spooky Empire 2 as a roaming character.
Boo.
What do you mean, boo?
Boo. I'm not going to be at any of those.
Psh, woman, well, message me what your next thing is. I'm not sure what mine is after that.
I'm doing SRQCon on Saturday. I am going to be at Summerween at the Grindhouse Brew Lab at the end of June. And then, are you doing Tampa Bay Comic Con?
I don't know yet. I'm working on some costume stuff right now, so I'm want that to be happening first because what is gonna help me promote Macabre. It's a monster from Macabre.
And it's right there when it's coming out. That's your yes. So we will talk.
We will talk.
Well, thank you everybody.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Three, two, one, go.